This is a tradition I've done every season, and I only recently got the cards done. So a tradition that I have, I'll turn the snow off too. A tradition that I have is I wait until I get all the gallery cards before I read the lore of the season. And I got all the gallery cards done and just hadn't had a chance to do it on stream. So on Christmas Day, can finally read the lore for season 5. So this is our first gallery card. You won't be able to look at it while I'm reading, but I can edit it in post. My name is Endwegast, but you may call me the Grand Master. It has a much better ring to it, don't you think? I have watched over this reality since it was first born, billions of years ago. In that time, my fellow elders of the universe and I have amassed enough cosmic power to guide an infinite number of lesser beings toward enlightenment. But if I'm being honest, that sounds like far too much work. And why would I bother working when I could spend all my days playing instead? Ask any of the elders about me, and they'll regale you with stories about the grand games I've hosted. From the simplest hand of cards to the most epic tournament, every contest I hold has universal stakes. And though my brethren have proven themselves formidable opponents, they have never matched my skill, despite their best efforts. When you're the best in the universe, with none ever capable of challenging your title, things begin to become quite dull. Thankfully, the game board recently changed. Multiple realities converged, inspiring the elders to merge our own domains together, creating something new and different. A plane of existence where venues such as the Collector's Gallery, my newest joint venture with the Gardener, and more exist together in perfect paradise. While exploring our new realm, I stumbled upon something of great interest, a small scrap of paper in the Collector's vast accumulation of cosmic epheria. A contract signed with the name Von Doom, the name of the same mortal whose meddling was said to have caused the chronal crisis currently sweeping across dimensions. Before I could decipher the contract's true purpose, the Collector discovered me in his gallery, and I was forced to leave the item behind. But I knew it didn't belong on display. Whatever it was, it's gotta be one of Doom's high-stakes gambits. And who better than me to know how to play a wager to my advantage? It could very well be the ultimate bargaining chip when Doom inevitably dares to challenge the elders directly. The Collector has kept a suspicious eye on me ever since. Thus, if I truly wish to obtain this mysterious contract, I will have to do so by proxy. There are only a handful of beings in the entire universe skilled enough to enter the Collector's Gallery undetected and escape with one of his prizes in hand. And of those, there is only one brazen enough to actually accept the job. A mutant from the planet Earth named Remy LeBeau, or Gambit as he prefers to be called. A perfect name for a caper this perilous. If my scheme is going to work, my thief is going to have to act fast. As I said before, I have watched over this reality since it was first born, but now I am watching it die right in front of my eyes. And I truly believe that unless something is done to get Doom in check, I may die right along with it. That would be a true tragedy, for there are still so many games left to play. Oh, mon cher. Here we are, the final stop on our whirlwind toward the galaxy. Turns out this here Grand Garden is just as romantic as I've been told. The perfect place for me to take my chérie, Anne-Marie, on a special date to celebrate the end of our interstellar honeymoon. Oui, c'est vrai. Your boy Gambit finally made an honest woman out of our sweet rogue. Almost all our friends and family were there to witness the special occasion, too. Just as we were about to exchange the rings, some sort of temporal storm sent Krakoa hurling through time and space, scattering our fellow mutants across reality. After that, folks were just too busy fighting to keep everything from unraveling to make time to join for our first dance. Though I guess some of them did end up at Emma's little Hellfire Gala, which does raise this Cajun's brow. Anywho, right after we tied the knot, me and Miss LeBeau climbed aboard a Wakandan spacecraft that Storm borrowed for us, and blasted off into the stars for a trip we'd never forget. But we didn't just travel to the edge of existence so we could have a perfect picnic under the bright eyes of the Elder of the Universe. Sure, love may have been the guiding force that brought the two of us here, but our vacation served as an ever greater purpose for mutant kind, according to Magneto at least. At every stop we made along the way, from Wakanda to nowhere, we were planting a special flower that blooms into portals. You know, the ones that lead straight back to our living island. They're the quickest way for our lost kin to find their way back home, no matter where the time stream entanglement may have tossed them. And they're also plenty handy if the other X-Men want to come out searching for missing mutants too. So there we were, just having planted a seed in the Grandmaster's garden when, wouldn't you know it, Magneto and the X-Men strode in through the portal. They thought they'd find some missing mutants, but all they found was us enjoying our interrupted honeymoon. Now that we're fresh out of seeds, though, me and Rogue finally have some quality time to relax and enjoy each other's company. And it looks like we got plenty to keep us busy here, from the Coliseum of the Elders to the Collector's Gallery. Of course, there's un petit chance I may have picked up a little side hustle here as well, but that's not something Rogue needs to know about quite yet. Even a married man is entitled to a few secrets, no? Besides, it'll be over and done with before she even realizes it was a thing. And if I play my cards right, like I always do, she'll be the one who ends up with the real prize, just like she deserves. But I'll worry about that later. At the moment, the only thing the soul thief wants to steal is another kiss from my new bride. Because when it's just the two of us together, there ain't nothing in the whole world that can bring me down. So I plan on enjoying the peace and quiet while it lasts, because it never lasts long enough. A passage from the Book of Doom, 2099. When it comes to the mysteries of the universe, there are few that Victor Von Doom has not already solved. But one secret has eluded me for longer than I care to admit: the truth of my own past. To obtain the tremendous power I now possess, the power that has allowed me to thrive for all these years and cement my legacy in this ever-changing world, sacrifices had to be made. And the greatest of those sacrifices was my own memory. The once cherished recollections of my earliest days have been lost to me forever. Or so I thought. After the time stream entanglement, I began to experience strange visions. A face appeared in my mind, the face of a beautiful woman. And though I swore I did not know her, I instantly felt an inexplicable affection towards her. Like our very souls were somehow intertwined. Every time I closed my eyes, she was there, whispering my name softly. It was as if she was haunting me. Excuse me. Determined to find out who this phantom was, I scoured every historical record I lay my hands upon, refusing to overlook even a single stray clue. I designed elaborate telepathic devices, and even tried to unlock the secrets of my own genes, searching for missing memories from before the fall of the heroic age. But alas, each time she appeared to me, she vanished into the ether before I could learn more. It began to suspect. It's a typo. I began to suspect that someone was actively preventing me from uncovering the truth about her. Worse, it felt almost as if I was being taunted. and Doom is not one to tolerate such insults. Though all the technological avenues have been explored, Doom is a man of many means. Wow, I'm fumbling this. Though all technological avenues have been explored, Doom is a man of many means. Thus, I attempted to tap into the power of Chronovium. I had collected a great number of these powerful crystals, forged from pure chronal energy, since the time stream entanglement was first set into motion. Perhaps they could unveil the meaning behind these apparitions. After exhausting the power of countless Chronovium crystals and searching across every timeline I could access, the images began to grow clearer. I could see the woman trapped in a hellish dimension, eternally tortured by unyielding flames. She no longer whispered my name lovingly, as she had in my earlier visions. Now she cried it out, begging for me to save her. But every time I tried to reach out to her, the Chronovium would shatter, and the vision would end. Still, all was not lost. It was in those broken crystal shards I first saw it, a faint image of a piece of parchment, some sort of contract. And though its full details were obscured, I could read a portion of the name inscribed upon it. Cynthia. Whatever purpose this document served, I knew it would be the key to finding this woman, and perhaps finding myself. I scoured the known universe for information on its whereabouts, and soon came to believe it might be in the hands of the Elder of the Universe known as the Collector. This cosmic being is not one who parts with his treasures freely, but Doom will not be denied his prize. I don't want to do that voice too long. Oh, is it Gambit again? Oh god, I have to do the Galacta voice. Maybe I need Namor. Can I get Namor to do that? That would be kind of cool. Are they online? No, they're probably doing Christmas stuff. Alright. Everybody's about to find out why I cast somebody else to be Galacta. We've got a major problem, rivals. If you're like me, and you came into this season of love hoping for a happy ending, I'm afraid I may have bad news. Your girl Galacta's been keeping a close eye on the new Mr. and Mrs. LeBeau ever since they first stepped onto the battlefield. And it's not just because these two lovebirds seem to fight in perfect sync with each other. Let's be honest. There's no better way to unwind from a day of watching epic multiversal slugfest than to tune into the ongoing romance of everyone's favorite couple, Gambit and Rogue. For those of you late to the party, Gambit's a suave Cajun thief who blows stuff up. Rogue's a southern belle who can absorb powers of anyone with a touch. They both joined the X-Men, a team of mutant heroes based on Earth, and eventually fell head over heels with each other. Against all odds, their unlikely love grew stronger, and they eventually got married and headed off to an epic honeymoon that's taken them across the galaxy, ending in the heavenly Grand Garden. Seems like things couldn't be more perfect, right? Wrong. There's trouble in that cosmic paradise. As much as Gambit has tried to become an honest man for his bride, he's still a thief at heart. So he signed up for one last heist, a job Rogue doesn't even know anything about. Now the Grandmaster is whispering in his mind, reminding him to hold up his end of the bargain. Could he go to that old jerk and try to charm his way out of the deal? Maybe. But as lucky as Gambit is, he's not willing to risk his current state of bliss on a roll of his Chronovium. Maybe. But as lucky as Gambit is, he's not willing to risk his current state of bliss on a roll if his Chronovium die. He has to finish the game he started. So, Gambit's sneaking out of the honeymoon suite in his fancy white and gold hooded Thieves Guild regalia, leaving the sleeping Rogue behind and looking back at her lovingly with that whole best of wives and best of women. Oh wait, no. I mean, that is a Hamilton reference, but I should probably do the Galacta voice. Okay. I'm sorry, it's taking me out. It's a freaking Hamilton reference. Let's go. So Gambit's sneaking out of the honeymoon suite in his fancy white and gold hooded Thieves Guild regalia, leaving the sleeping rogue behind and looking back at her lovingly with that whole best of wives and best of women vibe. He thinks what she doesn't know won't hurt her, but here's the twist. Rogue does know. She's not actually asleep, and she's well aware that her Prince Charming is up to no good again, hiding behind the guise of a honeymoon. It's gotta break her heart. And Rogue's not the only one who Gambit isn't fooling. He may be one of the best thieves in the entire universe, but his sensational skills can't trick someone who... Man, this voice is hard to do and read at the same time. But his sensational stealth skills can't trick someone who feels even the faintest shifts in the magnetic field. But Gambit likely remains blissfully unaware that the ever-restless Magneto, not one for early nights, is currently out in the garden, admiring the ever-bloom flowers that only bloom on the shadow passes of Mount Wungadore. Magneto knows he's up to something. The entire house of cards that Gambit built could come crashing down. I don't know what happens next, but I can guarantee it's going to be as wild as one of Gambit's aces. Luckily, I still believe the one force in this universe stronger than the power cosmic. Love. Dude, the freaking Hamilton reference, let's go. Best of wives and best of women. Oh, here we go. Cap Wolf, Cap Wolf. Okay, I guess I can do narrator voice for this one. It doesn't smell like it's a specific person. When the elders of the universe first... Sorry, my voice is kind of gone. When the elders of the universe first united their cosmic domains, they knew that it would only be a matter of time before the Grand Master decided to challenge them to one of his contests to determine who would reign supreme over their converged realms. The gardener and his contemplator had no interest in participating in the Grand Master's tiresome games, but the collector was not about to cede power to another elder without a proper fight. So when the invitation to play inevitably came, the collector was eager to accept. The premise was simple. Each elder would create avatars The premise was simple. Each elder would create avatars of powerful champions from any reality they wished. Using these lifelike pawns, they would participate in a game of wits, presenting attackers and counter-attackers one by one, eliminating their foes until a single champion remained. The prize at stake? Control of the Elder's amalgamated realm, and one object of choice from their opponent's vast collections. Always the gentleman, Grandmaster allowed his opponent to make the first move. Based on the rare specimens displayed in his beloved gallery, the collector had crafted a piece molded after Captain America. Only this captain he chose was a variant who had been transformed into a werewolf. Let me try to do... so the collector, so like the... For my opening move, I present a soldier. Not just any soldier, a super soldier, and a most savage one at that, the collector declared. The Grandmaster countered by playing Angela, a great huntress who hailed from heaven, the 10th realm of Asgard. The collector's savage super soldier was quickly laid low by Angela's spirit. Quickly? Come on! Not that quickly. Cabwolf would give Angela a run for her money. A soldier turned wolf? For such a beast, a huntress is more than enough, Endugast replied. Next, the collector summoned Iron Man to the board. Despite wearing a crude version of his earliest armor, the legendary craftsman shattered Angela's spear in a flash. None knows a hunter's tools better than a craftsman, the collector added with a delighted gleam in his eye. When the Grandmaster introduced Emma Frost into the game, she never even had to use her powers to claim victory. Instead, she swayed this young version of Tony Stark with her vast fortune, bribing him to remove himself from play. It seems even the craftsman cannot resist the wealth, Tivin, Endugast observed, a sly smile playing on his lips. As much as Tony coveted money, Emma Frost coveted power. So when the Collector sent an octopus-like version of Namor, his promise to make Emma the queen of his realm was enticing enough to earn her allegiance. To be queen is to possess all the riches of the realm. Is this not why you began this contest, Gast? The Collector retorted. The Grand Master believed that every king was corrupt to their core, so he dethroned Namor with Moon Knight, a soldier devoted to doling out divine justice in the name of his deity. How many thrones have been toppled by the fists of justice? In all these years, have we not seen it time and again? Landqvist mused, stroking his beard thoughtfully. But the Collector realized that even righteous justice could be twisted with the right words, and who could turn truths to lies better than his next chosen player, Lady Loki. Have you forgotten, my brother? We have witnessed far more lies and intrigue than justice. The Collector countered, slyly raising a glass to his lips. The Grand Master acknowledged his opponent's clever play, but knew that conspiracy could only breed in the shadows, and so, to shed some light on the game board, he sent out the Human Torch. But we must admit, it is light that lets the cosmos endure, Landqvist concluded, hands clasped behind his back, self-assured in his victory. As the Collector grew more frustrated, he reached for his next pawn, but before he could play it, an alarm suddenly began to blare in his gallery. This game would have to wait. While the Collector rushed off, the Grand Master gave a sly smile, knowing he had succeeded in distracting his opponent long enough to win a different game and claim his true prize. I can't believe Catwolf got taken out first. I call bullshit. Oh, we got 2 left. Okay.
Remy Etienne LeBeau, what in the name of Charles Xavier do you think you're doing?
Anna Marie, mon chéri, don't you cherie me. It ain't what it looks like.
It sure as heck better not be, 'cause it looks like you got yourself wrapped in another caper on our honeymoon.
I guess it is what it looks like, but I can explain.
I'd be quick if I were you.
Our gracious host, the Grand Master, offered me the chance to pull a heist of a lifetime, and all I had to do was steal one scrap of paper from the Collector's Museum.
And you were actually dumb enough to think you could get away with it? You may be the best there is at what you do, sugar.
I won't tell Logan you said that.
But even you ain't got the skills to hoodwink an elder of the universe.
Wish I could disagree, but the Collector played me for a fool.
He didn't have to work hard.
Easy now. How was I supposed to know the contract was a fake? Even the Grand Master believed it was real, till he was holding it in his hands, that is. Can't say he was too thrilled then.
So, you managed to botch the job and take off 2 of the most powerful beings in the universe. That's impressive, even for you.
Not sure I ever seen you look this angry, mon amour, or this powerful. You're positively radiating. And I ain't just talking about how lovely you look in the moonlight. What's going on?
When you snuck out in the middle of the night, I was worried sick. Usually you don't leave the slightest trace when you go, but this time, you left this behind.
The Grand Master's Grenovium die as payment for my services. He was gonna forge that into a new ring for you, to replace the one we lost. That's the whole reason I took this job. I wanted to make you the most unique wedding ring in the whole dang universe. But I couldn't reveal that part of the plan. The Quiet Council would never have let me go stealing across space for just a ring.
So you lied to me before we even left? This whole trip, you never once told me what that thing really was. When I touched it, I accidentally absorbed some kind of strange energy, and then my powers started going haywire. I can't control them, Remy. And now that I know what you were up to, I ain't sure I wanna.
You gotta try before you drain the life out of the rest of this garden. But first, we gotta get us both somewhere safer. How about we take the portal back to Krakoa and Merad, the gateway's all withered away. No going back now.
I already considered going home without you, but Eric said he can't risk letting me go back till my powers are stabilized. And as much as I hate to admit it, it's the right choice.
Well, if you don't stop yourself, love, the gardener's gonna be coming after us too. Guess there's only one thing we can do. And lucky for us, it's something I'm mighty good at. Been doing it since I was just a boy.
What's that?
We run. As far and as fast as we can. And we never look back. You with me, Shell?
Always. But I gotta admit, when we said till death do us part, I never expected to be doing it so soon.
Damn. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, my voice is kind of dead after an entire day spent with my family, but that rogue voice was kind of fun to do. Here we go. I really like this this picture. I like his face expression. He's just so. I don't know. He's just funny. I like him. And then we have. How do you freaking control this? And then we have.
Deadpool.
And. What's her name? I think this is the collector's voice, which is the voice I wanted to do. Terrans. Why does it always have to be Terrans? The vexing creatures of Earth have long been thorns in my side, always desperate to play the hero and liberate my prized possessions from my collection. It's simply exhausting. But this time, they've gone too far. It was bad enough when that meddlesome mutant sliced her way through my guards along with the land shark and the cosmic empath, but now I must deal with petty thieves running through my hallowed halls. The audacity. I truly believed that the state-of-the-art safeguards I put in would prevent my treasures from falling into the wrong hands. Take, for instance, the contract that the Terran thief called Gambit just attempted to steal. It was quite obvious that the Grandmaster had his eye on that particular item for some time, so I would have been a fool to leave the original unprotected. Thus, I stored it in a cabinet made of crinovium crystal, which completely isolated it from the time stream, ensuring it would no longer be at risk. In its place, I displayed a well-crafted duplicate in my gallery, and at first, the thief was none the wiser. But how was I to know that his mutant mate Rogue would so happen to absorb the powers of crinovium from my cabinet, turning it into a regular old glass case? Now that they are attempting to make their escape with the true contract in their hands, those bothersome bandits must be taught a lesson or two. Preferably a harsh one. I would love to lock the fugitives away in my menagerie for all eternity, but there are too many of their fellow mutants currently visiting our domain. I would merely be asking for another attempted breakout, and though it would be unlikely they would succeed, I have not the time nor the patience for the kind of cleanup that follows an event like that. Instead, it would be best to remove these two mutants from the equation altogether. With all the trouble they've caused, I doubt that even their staunchest allies would miss them. It would be easy to send my guards after them, to scour every corridor until they were cornered like trapped rats awaiting extermination. But since the Grand Master was the one who caused this mess in the first place, I feel strangely inspired to beat him at his own game. And I know just how to do it. Believe it or not, I happen to have a few Earthborn operatives of my own that have been working for me behind the scenes, a blathering, foul-mouthed mercenary, and a monster hunter as deadly as she is beautiful. They already know my gallery well, and they won't hesitate to pull the trigger when they find their targets. Plus, they will make the chase far more amusing to watch.
Perhaps Terrans
all good for something after all. Yeah, I feel like I kind of found his character like right at the end. I started doing fun shit and then it was over. But anyway, that's the season 5 gallery. Very cool, very cool.